Hey, what's up, everybody? HTG Brian back live on the main channel, Happy Thumbs Gaming. If you wonder why I'm even bringing that up, it's because we have a second channel, HTG TV, that we've been streaming Monday and Friday, and soon to be Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday. So good to see you. Hopefully you guys are ready to take on the past, present, and future HTG stuffs. Good to see a bunch of you already hanging in the chat. I dropped a single dono already. Once we get a few more people showing up, I'll be a little kinder and drop another at least 5 piece. This month was a roller coaster of emotion. I know most of you have hung out for the streams and you kind of know what's been going down, and sadly I lost a couple family members this month. In fact, I lost 2 cousins and a grandmother. So I just lost my other grandmother in June. So within a couple of months, poof, there goes both of my grandmas. Now they both were, getting up there in age. One of them had actually made it to 97 years old. And so, kind of expect that. The other one was much younger, mid 80s. So, big difference there in age, but it just means not everybody finishes crosses the finish line at the same time. And so it was definitely a rough month. On top of all of that, I was plagued with a sinus infection for at least 10 days, if not 2 weeks. So we didn't get out and do a lot. Sadly, a big part of my month was focused on the preparations and the actual service for my grandmother. She had some requests based on her will, and that was, Reese and I were requested to be pallbearers, so we had some extra duties, which we were happy to do. Don't get me wrong, we were happy to do it. I had never been a pallbearer, not that I can remember. I feel like when I was like 11, 12 years old, I think I was a pallbearer for like my dad's second wife's uncle or something. Like it was, and I think, but I literally was like the middle guy of the pallbearer, and I carried, and I had no weight or muscle responsibility, and so it was different this time, and it was different. And so we had the early service, we had the celebration, we then had a ceremony at the actual burial site, and then we had a dinner with family who had flown up from California. Most of my grandmother's sisters and nephews and nieces live in like Modesto and Sacramento, so sort of Northern California, and a ton of them came up. So people I hadn't seen in like 30 years. And, I wasn't feeling very good all the way up towards this. And so I was, kind of mixed emotions about how I would feel. Do I really want to entertain and tell the same story 75 times with all these people I haven't seen forever? But it was really good. And it actually sparked like this interest to want to go down there and see them. So they don't know this yet, but I do have plans to buy a new car. And one of my bucket list things that I've always had is to drive one of my cars on Button Willow Raceway, which is a little bit further down, sort of southeast from where they would be. But they would definitely be on the way down. So I think we're going to go stay a night or two in Modesto, hang out with some of them, and then go down there. But that won't be until like probably August or September next year. So we're still like a ways out, because I don't even have the car. I mean, I have my GTI that I could drive, but it's getting to be a higher miles car, and I don't necessarily want to take it on a large road trip like that. But my new Golf R, I would love to take. So I see we got a couple people sliding in. JJ, what's up? Daniel, what's good? Good to see you both. Pretty much everybody else I said hey to. I know that some people were coming and going as it is sort of dinner time, or maybe later, or who knows, depending on where you are. But for us, it's getting to be that dinner time range. So I'm going to try to keep things pretty short and sweet. I see GCU. What up? What up? All right. So, welcome. First of all, big time shout out and thanks to all you guys, as we have yet another month under our belt of content creation. And obviously that wouldn't be possible without the support of you guys. Lots and lots of extra watching, donations have been made on, not only on Patreon, but some website or some merch purchases. And then we've had a couple of you just like going so far above and beyond watching a bunch of our content over on HTG TV, trying to get that channel remonetized. So we're taking a break from doing most streams over on the main channel. The reason is because we thought it was negatively affecting the algorithm, and it was. Everything was actually peaking and driving up, and then I started doing Funko Fusion videos, and I know that not everybody wants those. Not everybody understands what type of a game it is. They just think it's some run-of-the-mill kids game or something. It's not. It's the new Lego. I'm trying to tell everybody this, but besides that, you know, dropping a video every single day pretty much has, you know, messed with the algorithm tweak that we had made. So we gained a bunch of ground, but it also sort of stopped. And you can see that here once I push this button here. So this was actually last month's stats. We hit over 208,000 subscribers, which is great. You know, every month we go up about 1,000 plus subs. This month we dropped down a little bit. You can see we had 1,600 on the last 28 days for last month. This month, we flipped 209,000, but we were not nearly as many. We only had just over 1,000 subs. So the momentum has changed, and that's a big thing to do with the algorithm. So we might see some other changes soon too with how I release my videos. Instead of releasing them one per day like I have been, I may turn off the notifications for these videos after the first 4 or 5, and then release them, put them in the playlist. Anybody who wants and tracks the playlist will see these notifications. They'll know they're coming out, but it's not going to plague the other 208,000. I mean, let's be honest. Most of you, not all of you, but most of you at some point have gotten frustrated with like, okay, I get it. YouTube, I get it. Yeah, so-and-so's live, so-and-so upload. I mean, when you start following more than 4 or 5 channels that are active, it starts to become a nuisance. And so that's kind of how YouTube determines how to place my videos. So when you guys, you know, swipe to the right or turn notifications off or whatever the case may be, it's telling YouTube you don't want to see my content. And that's, I'm not blaming or pointing fingers. I'm just saying that's how it works. And so by pushing all these story videos that most people don't need or want, I mean, there's tons of people that have beat the game 100% already got all the collectibles. I haven't even started doing the collectible videos. So there's maybe some changes to how the big project videos will release. Like I said, the first 5 or so will probably get notifications out, and then we'll probably drop those off. And I'm going to test it and see if it helps, because, you know, when people see the Lego streams, they flock to it. We get 1,000 plus views guaranteed every time. Most of these Funko Fusion videos are getting 200 to 600 views. So people are watching them, and some are needed. Some of those levels are pretty ridiculous. They're kind of hard, or maybe not hard. They just don't necessarily show you exactly what to do. So that's where we come in. You know, we've gone through and dug through the trenches, and literally Doug has been through the trenches and has reported a bunch of stuff back to me. And we're working on the guide. It's actually a work in progress. You guys can check it out at htg.com or happythumbsgaming.com. And so anyways, yeah, but this month was still a success. I mean, we fell down, as you can see here. I mean, we had over, closing in on 900,000 views. Not so much this month. And I do feel like a lot of that has to do with the algorithm and me pushing all these Funko Fusion videos. So these stats were actually taken 2 or 3 days ago. So our numbers are a little bit different. I think we have like, 270 subs now, 209,207. So we've jumped some there, and the views and the watch time has probably fluctuated a little bit too, but ultimately it's sort of trending down. What up, Farmer? I see you sliding in. Tomorrow's out there too. What's up, guys? And Chilling with Cameron has listed all 3 questions. So I'm going to put those on hold for now. I'm not ignoring you, but I just want you to know, like, we're going to get through the list of stuff that I got, my topics, my videos, my pictures, and then we're going to have that Ask Me Anything type of scenario. So, and it won't be long. Well, 20, 30 minutes, I think we'll be well through all of my stuff. And I think you'll find it fun. We got a lot of different stuff we're checking out today. So yeah, ultimately back to the original point. Thank you so much, guys, for allowing me to continue my dream of hanging out with you guys, playing video games, more or less for a living. I mean, I do some other things to supplement, but this really helps out. And your guys's, watch time, your views, your dedication, especially with our mods, Kirsten, Ray's, Mike, Tude, and even though Gray's not a mod, he's definitely part of the family. He's always not wanted mod status because he wants to be in that battle for early notification squad. He wants to not be looked at as like a force of authority, even though he likes to flex and show his muscles all the time. And we've got others that are part of the crew too. Bobby is another example. So not everybody wears the mod badge, but big time shout out to anybody and everybody who helped support, whether you're on the inside, part of the team or on the outside helping the team exist. It means a lot. So big time thanks to all of you guys and much appreciation. So like I said, this was a rough month. We had a couple of bright moments. In fact, as I mentioned last month, I got to see my nephew for the first time. I became an uncle. My youngest brother, Alex, is him and his wife, Serena, have had a little baby, Luke, and he is just growing every single day. And one of my favorite things about this, well, two favorite things. One is Jillian cannot get enough of this kid, and so I get to go up there and have excuses, and I love my brother, so I get to go up and hang out and watch sports and hang out while they're doing baby stuff. And we actually took the dogs up, and the dogs got along great too. And really, after about 10 minutes, they were like ignoring each other. But they have a nice yard, and so it's nice to know that my dog gets along with their two dogs. But the thing that just is the best of it all. I mean, uncle's being awesome. My brother getting to be a dad is awesome. Watching him blossom and change and transition, because 10 years ago, very different perspective on things, and he and I weren't necessarily the best of friends. I mean, brothers for sure, but but out of all the stuff, watching my dad just be like so gushy and like, ooh, have you seen the new pictures of Luke? And like, my dad is not known to be a sensitive person. In fact, if you were to ask my mom straight up, like why she left, it was because he didn't know how to show his emotion. He didn't tell my mom he loved her. He wasn't a very vocal person. He did. He busted his butt and he did anything and everything. And he loves my mom even still to this day, but he never had a good way of showing it. And after all these years, like seeing Mr. Tom Carey with like that soft spot, and like you should have seen him gushing. He was at my grandmother's service. It was my mom's mom who'd passed away, but lots of time spent between all of my mom and dad and their parents when they were younger, and even throughout Maya and Reese and everybody. So we're really close. And so my mom was at my dad's mom's funeral, and so my dad definitely wanted to be at my mom's funeral. And after everything was sort of done and we were in celebration mode and at the restaurant having dinner, my dad was like, have you seen? And it was just like, I was like, oh my God, Dad, put your friggin' phone away. No, nobody wants to, but everybody did. And it was awesome. So, like I said, it's really cool getting, and maybe he was like that with Reese, but it was a different time. He was working and running a golf course full time and still playing professionally and traveling for tournaments and all this stuff. So like, they spent time. They got Reese on multiple weekends or weeks during spring breaks and things like that, summertime. But I don't remember him like goo goo gagaing so much, and so it's like really cool to get to see that. So I see a few more people have showed up. We got Gerg out there. What up, dude? We got Brian D is back. You were here a little bit ago, right? Boy, we've got this skunk issue in the house too. Drex got skunked last week, and it's like so wild how it'll be like skunk free or it'll smell like cleaner or something. And then all of a sudden, wham, it smells like skunk again. We've changed our house filter. We've mopped multiple times. We've got this pH balance special spray that we're getting from the school district that is like, it's good for everything. And it works, but it's like, where this extra smell, these wafts are coming from, we still haven't figured out yet. Very unfortunate. Sorry to hear that, Brian. I see Phantoms out there too. What up? Gerg. Your budget for smoke has expired for this month. It's the end of the month. We already talked about this. How are you going to ever get that PS4 if you keep spending all your loot on Ninja Smoke? All right. So real quick, I just wanted to share just a quick photo. Like I said, we've had a lot of darkness. My cousin, who I spent a lot of time with when I was growing up, hunting and fishing with, he was my dad's cousin, so he's my I don't know, great uncle, or I don't know how that works, but cousin, second cousin, I don't know, whatever, how it ends up working. But he had a child. He had two children, a son and a daughter. The son was 5 years younger than me, and the daughter was like 7 or 8 years younger than me. Unfortunately, the son passed away about 5 years ago, and my cousin hadn't been really right since, yeah, I can't imagine. Like, I think about, like, if I were to lose Reese, like, it's like, whoa, don't even want to think about that. So like it's hard to understand, but like in a way, like he gets to be with his son again, right? I mean, if that's your thought process and how you're believing it, but so that was tough. And then we also had some cousins that have always been close to us. And they're actually on my wife's side of the family. And they moved to the Netherlands about 6, 7 years ago. You might remember we kind of made jokes that we became a Prius family because when they left, they sold all their junk and all their cars and all their stuff. And then they gave us their Prius, which had been the wife's car, and she barely drove it. So it was like a 2007, I think, Prius, and it had like 35,000 miles on it. I mean, the thing was it still smelled like a brand new car when they gave it to us. Perfectly maintenanced. Everything was meticulously taken care of, garage the whole time. So we got like this more or less brand new Prius that was gifted to us. And it was such a blessing and great thing because wife had just taken a job working at a different school district, which was like 45, 50 miles away. So like driving our Honda CRV was all right, but getting 40 to 50 miles per gallon was so much better. So, it really helped us get through the beginning part of that. And it transitioned into being Reese's full-time driver. So that's what he's been driving for quite a few years now. And we'll be selling that at some point soon. But we just found out that like 6 months ago, they called us and they're like, hey, we want to move back to Oregon. And we're like, all right, cool. We'll start doing. Jillian went and took a couple of interviews at like retirement places and like assisted living homes and things because they weren't really ready. They were still independent, but they were ready to be transitioning into that adult care because they're their mid 80s, so they're up there. And like 10 days after we got the first call, like the husband just started showing major signs of deterioration. And it just happened almost instantly. Like within 2 to 3 months, he was like, they were talking hospice. And then boom, like he was just like checking out. And so it unfortunately it drug on a little bit at the end, but it was just a really tough month. So getting to see my nephew was a huge bright piece. And tell me this doesn't brighten your day. You don't really get a full shot of the baby boy there, but look at wifey just in her zone. And like one thing that I've loved too about this is that my wife's a beautiful singer, and she used to sing to Reese here and there, but I mean, it was the standard, nighttime lullaby stuff. And like my wife's been singing to my nephew and it's been just like eye-opening. Like, and then she was singing in the house the other day and I'm like, I try not to say anything to her about it because I don't want her to feel like embarrassed or stop doing it. But like 2 nights ago we were talking and she said something about her voice or something. And we were actually watching a show and I won't go into detail, but there was a pretty big change, we'll call it, with one of the characters and how their presentation was, like the way they handled their voice, and it was just different. And she brought that up, and we talked about it for a hot second, and then like I mentioned like I said while we're talking about voices, I just would like to mention like I heard you singing the other day. She's like, oh God, don't. I was like, no, seriously, like you have a beautiful voice, like. And I mean, I've just never really heard her sing much. So like, it's crazy that like I was excited to be an uncle, and for reasons that obviously I've wanted to be an uncle, wanted to be around my brother, I want all these things, but like all these bonuses with my dad and finding out my wife sing a beautiful sing, like just awesome, right? So it's just like trying to take the positives as positives and keep those and try to keep that momentum going. Speaking of momentum go. Let me clear my throat before I try to say that. At the beginning of the month, we went to another Volkswagen show. It'll be the last one we go to this year because my friend's car is still being put back together. I mean, it's like so close. Like we're so close. It could be any day, and it's been through like complete teardown. All the wheels, the axles, everything. Like the chassis of the car had to have some repairs because of rust, and they dipped it in this special thing, and then they pulled it out and let it dry and painted it, and then they started putting the car back together, and he had custom interior done, so all this special stitching and red accents, and then he got new wheels. It's like his fourth set of wheels he's had on this thing, and then he had like limited slip put on, all these things. So it's going to be a really amazing one of one kind of build. And I'm really excited for him. I'm really excited to be back in the car stuff again, because without him being around and my other two friends moving to Texas, I don't really get out as much. Now, once I buy my new car and Reese gets the GTI, he'll have a couple of friends that he'll meet and hang out, and it'll change again and it'll evolve. But for a while, it's been pretty dormant. But got to tell you, it felt absolutely wonderful being in the midst of a just ginormous tornado of Volkswagens. And, this right here, this starts off in the third generation. There's a bunch of, there was probably, it was a small show this year, and there was probably 200 show cars. There was probably 1,000 cars in the parking lot. Well, probably not that many, probably 500 cars in the parking lot. Normally there's more than that. So pretty awesome. And yes, Jillian's hair is purple with some blue accents. Get out of here, Nom. I'm just seeing you slitting here. I see Undergrinder's in here too. What up? Welcome back. So yeah, that was really fun. Now, ready for this? This is the weird thing. This is the only photo I took all day. So, unfortunately, that's all you get. No, I'm just kidding. We did some races. I as per usual, I did record, a handful of quarter mile races, tried to get some good stuff, and I weeded through. I recorded probably 15, 20 different runs, and I selected, 2 Volkswagen via Volkswagen races. And then I also, not really, you'll see in a minute. And then they had, often the drag strip does like these big national events. And in this particular weekend, they had, it was the weekend before a giant funny car race. And one of the funny car racers was there, and they wanted to do a test run. They basically changed a bunch of stuff. And I don't know if you know what a funny car is, but they are super fast, like 6-second quarter mile cars. Like my car is like, I like to think my car is quick, and it's like a low to mid 13-second in the quarter mile. Like Nom's got a car a little bit faster than mine. His is probably like a 12-second, quarter mile. Really like moving really fast, like good builds, like people that have really put a lot of time and energy often find themselves somewhere in like the 10 to 12-second range. That's pretty fast, especially for a street car. You see track built cars that go, 8-9 seconds, and that's ridiculously fast. But I mean, you'll see here in a second, these funny cars, it's like a jet car. It's like they're wild. So anyways, a couple races real quick. Whoa, figure it out. So you can see on the far end, we got a Porsche. I said it was Volkswagen, but not quite. So this thing was moving. Obviously, it was a GTR, so one of the higher end, and it pulls a 10-second. That is moving versus a 13-second, which is also pretty fast. But I mean, realistically, like I said, I don't feel like 13 seconds that fast. Here we got another one here. I don't know why it's flashing like that. We got another Volkswagen versus Porsche. The car on the right is actually a longtime friend of mine. He's a guy I met at the track 20 plus years ago. He's been racing. He actually rules every single Volkswagen race that they have there. I've been to most of the years. I've missed a few, but I've probably known this guy 25 years. And in the 25 years he's been racing, they do 2 big Volkswagen events every year there. And, there's 50 racers at least, some Porsches and other makes, Audis and stuff too, but mostly Volkswagen. And Burnt Arndt is his name. He's a big German dude, and he's built this VR6 motor and put it in this really light Corrado. Here, I'll play it again. The chassis of the car is actually all plastic. The outside exterior is mostly plastic. The whole front end, the top, all the windows have been replaced with plexiglass. And I mean, if you look, he's racing a really fast Porsche, 11 seconds. He didn't beat it. The Porsche got a slow jump off the line, so they were a little bit late reaction time. So in theory, I actually didn't see which side got the light. It was really close. Quarter mile time, the Porsche actually got him, but the Porsche left a little late, so Bert could have won that. But that was also trial, so like not official. But I didn't stay to see if he won it again, but I would bet money he was first or second place Bet money. It's crazy how many trophies this guy has. And I mean, it's the car's an 11-second car. It's fast. But he's consistent. He'll run 11-1, 11-2 every single time. And he does it all day, every day. It's crazy. So the funny car, this is going to be a little bit louder. I tried to adjust volume, so please let me know. It looks like I'm getting some messages on Discord. Oh, no, it's the girl. Get out of here with your stupid ninja smoke, bro. Oh, boy. I'm going to start charging you for taxing you for polluting my airs. All right, check this thing out. I mean, love. It was funny, too. The wives were sitting there talking, and they're like, is there a person in there? So the way, it's a tube chassis, so it's like a specially designed car. I'll play it again. It's a specially designed car just for races. I'll play it again. Okay, maybe not. I don't know why it's not letting me play it again. It hates me. Let's see here. It should be this one. It's something to do with the, yeah, what the crap? Here, I'll loop it for a hot second. So yeah, he's sitting in the back. So like he pops it up. There's obviously a person in the car. You can't see him until about right now. You can see his helmet. But I mean, like, talk about aerodynamic and crazy. All right, so he heated up the tires, and I missed that, which is why he ended up a little past the starting line. Watch this. Bro goes, "Rah!" and then turns off the gas, and then like even pulls the chute, and he still pulls like an 8-second run. This thing is probably like a 5-second car, 5 to 6 second car. Here you go. Check it out. Plug your ears. 8-1 at 93. So just to put that into perspective, when I cross the finish line, I'm doing like 114, 117 miles an hour, somewhere in that range. And I'm a 13-second car. So like the amount of time it takes me to get my wheels spinning and traction and to go, he's already gone and like halfway down the track. But then he left. So, I mean, it's just stupid fast. So that was one of the highlights of the day, even though it was a Volkswagen show and it wasn't a Volkswagen, but pretty crazy. I live my life a quarter mile at a time. No, you don't. I can't even get you to go to the quarter mile, bro. And you know what? I feel like, you know, there might be one Thursday night left. Those Thursday nights are the nights to go because they're half price. It's $25. And normally there's 10, 15 people there. So you get to run like 10, 15 times. On that day, if I would have raced, I would have probably gotten 6 passes all day. Maybe if I was lucky and I won and got to go to the next round. And it was $50 to race plus a $25 entry. So it would have been $75 to race. I didn't want to do that. It's weird how they don't stack them up. You'd think that they would count, but they don't. Entry is different than race. Entry is also different than showing. Weird. Double down. All right. So quick just update on the sunflowers. You guys know my wife's a huge sunflower buff. We have a huge sunflower wall. This was sort of at its peak roughly mid last month and into last month. ready for now? Where were you? Where are you? They're so barren and like empty. Like, seriously, look at that. They're all dried up. This was taken not yesterday, but the day before. I was out there with Drex just an hour before stream started just now. And we were walking around in the field there and stuff. And it was just like weird. The wind was blowing and you could hear them just like, they're all brittle and dried up. The birds, though, have absolutely feasted like kings for weeks. You can see a few of them are dropped down. We will start to actually chop those and put those in our compost bin probably in the next week or so. It's a process, but it's a yearly thing. We all partake. Reese usually helps out. Jillian and her mom helps out. And we just chop them and drop them. We've already collected a ton of seeds so that we'll be able to hand out and give a bunch out next year, plus plant our whole big wall again, because we'll do that as per usual. But yeah, pretty awesome stuff. All right, so the next part is going to be a little bit different. I hope this works. I hope the lighting and everything is okay. But I wanted to show. So I've been asked a lot lately about Funko Pops and how do I have any or anything like that. I spent a little bit of time trying to dig through my closet of collectibles, and I couldn't get to the box that I needed without like major rearranging. And I don't think I have, but maybe one or two extras in there. So there may be a couple I show like later, whether I post them on Discord or maybe I show them next month. But ultimately, I've ordered, and these are all recent. Since Funko Fusion's come out, I've bought a handful of pops. Some of them are directly related to the game. Some of them have nothing to do with it. I actually only bought two that didn't have anything to do with it for right now. One was a mystery pop. I paid $5 for it, and I had no idea what I was going to get. You guys can start guessing now what you think it is. There are 13,000, roughly 13,000 pops, allegedly. There's a hint for you. Not really. It's a bad hint. It's a misdirection hint if you actually followed that, which most of you probably didn't even get that. But anyways, so yeah, I'm going to start off with the Funko Fusion Pops. I'm going to go ahead and turn on my secondary camera here. Booyaka Show! By the way, it's still being held up by a piece of 3M tape, but it's like fake 3M. It's not even like the real stuff. It's like some other stuff. But check it out. Let's see if I can figure out the sweet spot here. There we go. We got RJ McReady from The Thing. So these are all going to be like, fusion related pops. Almost impossible to find in stores. I ordered them directly from funko.com. Each one of these has a code inside that you can use. I don't know why my camera's doing like 1 frame a second. Like, what the crap's up with that? Here, let me turn it off. Turn it back on again. See if that... 1, 2, 3, 4. Come on! This was working fine earlier. I think it's my root USB hub struggling to process both at the same time. And like it's like trying to autofocus and like do all sorts of stuff. I might have something to do with the lights, but RJ McReady, played by Kurt Russell, and big part of The Thing. Definitely my least favorite character from that world. And the reason is because he has a shotgun. And I'm not a fan of the shotgun. It doesn't work like it probably should. So one of the bonus cameo quests that is in the game has a connection to the movie Megan. So they obviously have a pop for Megan as well. Again, all of these have codes inside for the game that actually give variant costumes and outfits. I don't know if you'll ever be able to buy them or how that'll work, but for now, you can actually get them for free inside the pop boxes. So as it sits, I do believe I have the full set of everything that's currently been released for Funko Fusion. And I even have a couple of what they would consider limited or rare. So next up is one of my favorites, Nicholas Angel from Hot Fuzz. He actually is jumping and floating through the air in this action pose, and it's sort of a reference to the movie. It starts off with they're talking about Bad Boys 2 and you ain't ever shot your gun in the air and screamed, and all this stuff. And so like, it's actually pretty cool. There's even a trophy for the game, which I haven't unlocked yet. Doug needs to figure out how to do that. Megan is a decent movie, Cameron. I didn't love it. I didn't hate it. I was entertained. I would watch the second one that they're making. I don't know when that's due to come out, but this next one is a pretty obvious one and one of my favorites. It's right out of my childhood. And so some of these actually have what they call chases. If you're not familiar with the Funko Pops, chases are rare versions of a common Funko Pop. So in this case, I'm about to show you the common one. I don't have any chases. I bought a second one in my second order that I made because when I ordered the first time, the full set had not been released. And so I had to make a second order. And I thought, you know what, I'm going to order a second one of these because I might get the chase. Well, I got it and it didn't work for me, so I just gave it to Reese. So now Reese has an extra one. Maybe I can get Reese to show off his pops too. Not today because he's gone, but by the powers of Grayskull, I have the power. It's He-Man, and he's holding up the sword. He's in the full costume. Now in the game, there is a Masters of the Universe world, but you don't start off as He-Man. You start off as Adam because it's like Clark Kent, Superman, right? Adam and Mr. T. No, I'm just kidding. He-Man. I pity the poor fool who doesn't know what he's talking about. Me. But so definitely cool. He-Man, right? Pretty sweet. Didn't get the chase. All right, so now for my rare ones. One of them sold out almost immediately, and that would be this one. This is actually the bad guy of the game, Eddie Funko. I still wish that camera would get good. I don't know what it's doing. Like I tested it before, and everything worked fine. I don't know if it's because the filter for minimum. I don't know what's going on, but this guy sold out within like an hour of. So I don't know if there's like 100 of them or 10,000 of them. I have no idea how many they actually produced, but this one is supposed to be rare. Now I have no knowledge of Funkos, so I don't know if these. Most of them cost $10 to $15. I don't know if they ever go up in price. Like, I don't know, like, what that looks like. I've seen some of them, like, there's custom ones for, like, MF Doom, things that were never really made by Funko, but people have created their own versions of, and they're selling them for, like, $250, $300. But those are custom made, people gluing them together and stuff, and I don't know if that creates more value for them or less value. They're probably more rare because they're being handmade and put together, but I haven't seen the quality. I don't know of any of that. Beyond those custom ones, I have no idea how much they cost. So definitely interesting and a learning experience. So one of the other ones that was supposed to be rare, but last I looked, they were still selling these, and that's the Mecha Freddy. So this is sort of like the, I don't know, Hulkbuster suit, if you will, or whatever. It's like the protection Iron Man, or I don't know how to explain it. He's basically like a big mecha version of Freddy, who is the main hero and who we're trying to save. I guess he's not really a hero. We're the hero, but so those are all the little ones. Now I've got two big ones as well. This one was one that came in a chase as well, but I did not get lucky enough to get one. And, you know, if you ever go anywhere like a Target or a Walmart or any place that sells these, there's almost a 0% chance you'll find a chase because the rumors are employees get first dibs. And anybody who, there's always one person that knows something about the Funkos, so they go and they clean them out, is what I'm told. So, because I've asked a couple of people at the different locations, they're like, oh yeah, no, so-and-so always takes all those. Indominus Rex, though, this one was actually pretty beefy. I mean, in comparison to the other pops, I mean, it's definitely bigger, right? Like, pretty good size. Obviously, Indominus Rex is much larger than the humans in the movies and such, so it makes sense that it's bigger. Definitely like this one. One of my favorites. However, I think my favorite is up next, but there's a little caveat with that. One of my least favorite levels of the game, and it happens to be a final boss for the Masters of the Universe world. Whoa, bang. It's Scaremare and Scare Glow. Look at this. I don't even know if I can get the whole thing on there. There we go. Got a nice reflection from my lights and my camera up there. There you go. Scaremare and Scare Glow. And I mean, talk about huge. Innominus Rex. Oh no. Time him out quick. No more jokes. So this one's probably my favorite. So Scare Glow is, I guess, the Skeletor version that's on there. I'm not even sure what's going on. Because Scare Mare, the mare is a horse, right? So, like, it's got to be Scare Glow. So, anyways, I don't believe this one comes in a chase. It might. I'd have to double check. I know that the Indominus was a possibility, but so that's it for my Funko Fusion pops. I have two others. One was a mystery pop that I actually, like I said, I purchased as a mystery pop. It only cost me $5. And it actually even came in one of the protective cases. They have these pretty secure Funko boxes that are clear. They're just little plexiglass boxes that go around. And they're nice. I would recommend them to anybody who is potentially collecting them for monies or just for overall preservation. Again, I don't know if these are decent to invest with like Lego is. I just know that, like some of my Lego stuff has doubled and tripled. Sets that were $40 are now selling for $200 in some cases. So I don't know if pops do that as well. So any guesses what my mystery one was? I tried to sneak it by the cameras. I'll tell you this, when we got it, the first thing, I opened the box, Reese was standing right here. The first thing that happened was Reese Googled the number. And when Google responded, it said there was a listing for this one for $1,000. I was like, get out of here. And sure enough, there really was. In time-lapse mode. It seems like it. I don't know what it's doing. Like, I've tried turning it off and back on again. It's got like filters and stuff set on it. I think it's just the fact that the mic, the camera, and the camera are all using the USB, and it's that crappy USB root hub that has no power. I just need to get a new computer. We all know that. It's almost that time of year where everything gets cheap, and I plan to buy some stuff, but I'm not there yet. Let's see here. You called your mom Scare Mare? Oh no. And Brian, good guess. Spider-Man is not it though. So check this out. It is the Obi-Wan Kenobi special edition. It's part of the what they call the art series, and you can see it actually comes with a hard protective case. Now I could pop this out of here and put the any pop that I wanted in there. But if you Google Star Wars Pop 536, like you'll see one of the top listings is 1,000, but it's just like some ridiculous eBay listing. It sells on eBay for like $7 or $15 or something like that. So I didn't hit it big like we were hoping. Reese was like, "Oh my god!" But it turned out that was not the case. What up, Michael? Welcome to the stream. And so the last one. There's a whole set of these that was just released, and the rumors are I'm getting them all for Christmas from the wife, allegedly. Anybody got any ideas what it might be from, or at least what franchise? If Nam would have been a little bit more dedicated to watching a series, he would know exactly what it is. But I'm pretty sure he doesn't know. All right, I'll tell you. Shorzy. I don't know if anybody watches Letterkenny, but Letterkenny had created a fictional hockey player by the name of Shore who goes by Shorzy. And he's just a foul-mouthed, aggressive brute. Just one of the worst, dirtiest players of all time. And he also referees, and he refs like junior high and high school kids. And he just goes at them with the most inappropriate comments about, because they talk trash to him, and he'll go back at them, like usually referencing like their mothers or things like that. So super inappropriate. But there's a whole series of Letterkenny. So there's like Wayne, Squirrely Dan, and Katie Cat. all of them. And there's another Shorzy one too. So I only bought the one because the wife was like, "Oh, I'll get all those for Christmas," and so I didn't want to end up with duplicates or whatever. And as far as I could tell, there's no chase versions or anything. But this is probably my favorite pop of them all. He actually is standing there and looking, and like there's a couple of different ones. There's Shorzy referee and Shorzy hockey player, and then there's the Letterkenny ones as well. So definitely awesome. Probably never would have guessed that because most of you probably haven't even heard of Shorzy at all. So yeah, that's it for the Funko stuff though. Let me check real quick. Yep, we're good. Look like I'm gonna do a card trick for my next trick. Next up, I've got stream schedule. So I talked about this a little bit earlier today, and I will be posting this up on the community page either later tonight or tomorrow. Just depends on when I remember. But this is what we're going to be looking at moving forward for the next couple of weeks. Mondays is going to continue to be Thief Simulator 2 over on HTG TV. And oh, look at that. I turned off a layer on accident. I'm just now realizing it. That's okay. We'll get through it together. I'll have to fix that before I post it. But Tuesday is going to be Hypercharged Unboxed. As it sat, we were hoping to play with Tude, but some things have come up for Tude, and it does not sound like he will make it. Now, there's always a possibility that tomorrow may provide a different result. But as it sits, Bobby and I plan on playing Hypercharged Unboxed together. If Nom wants to have a sick day and come join us, that would be welcome. No win Tuesday. Yeah, Nom wants Tuesdays? I don't know. Wednesday will be a new game. Now, I'm not starting this Wednesday. This will actually be the following Wednesday. So not day after tomorrow, but a week from day after tomorrow. I will be checking out a newly released game called Numata. And it is basically being labeled a combo of like Resident Evil and Outlast. I didn't really play a lot of the Outlast series, but it is sort of more of the jump scary horror type of game, where Resident Evil is one of my favorite genres. I consider it its own genre. I absolutely love, the fixed cams in the early days were really cool. I'm glad they've moved away from that now, but I just really love the gameplay for the most part, unless it's Resident Evil 3 and that last boss, which I still haven't gone back and platinum that. But anyways, it's supposed to be a fairly easy game. So once I heard that it's like Resident Evil and it's easy, I was like, count me in. And then randomly, I didn't even ask or request, but I checked my email and the developer had actually sent me a code to check it out. So I figured that's like perfect. I wanted to play it. They sent it to me. I've got it. So I'm going to start checking that out the following Wednesday. Thursdays will remain a day off for me to do project stuff and things around the house and other things. Actually, I do believe probably not this week, but the following week, I hope to take my father, my son, and my grandfather out to lunch. My last remaining grandparent, who is, probably on short time as well. He's in his late 80s and smoked literally, I'm not kidding, 5 packs of cigarettes a day for like 25, 30 years. Drank tons of Jack Daniels and other spirits. It's kind of a mystery or anomaly, not a anomaly, but an anomaly. Big difference there. That he's still with us. But my dad and him, my grandfather was a carpenter and built houses. And when my dad, before I was born and when he was dating my mom, he worked for my grandfather. And they actually did a bunch of work up at like Timberline Lodge and they built houses. And so, my dad got a little gushy at the service too when he got to see my grandfather for the first time in probably 20 years. And, probably not that long, but probably 17, 18 years. And they sat down and, both of them had a drink and they're, oh, shoot, you remember this? And, oh, remember when Todd, what did they call him? It's like Todd, not Todd the Bod. There was some sort of anyways, Todd fell through like this roof and like they had to fix it and patch it and like all this crazy stuff. And it was just really fun to hear. So I'm looking forward to hearing more stories about that. So hoping that'll be a Thursday coming up soon. And then Fridays, we got Apex and or Fortnite. I say and or because it could be both, but probably not. I've never done more than one game in a stream. However, we did talk about bringing the Dreamcast out, so that may change at some point. But I'm feeling like it'll probably be Fortnite this week. We played Apex for a couple of weeks, and I don't think Nam will be around on Friday, but we'll figure that out, and I'll get back to you. I know that Gray is interested in playing probably either, and I can get Kirsten to play both, but I think she prefers Fortnite. I haven't really asked her recently, so I don't want to put words in her mouth, but Brian will be looking for loggers. Probably, yeah. I definitely am known for hiding, especially from really scary entities, as the new Mata is supposed to provide. I've really not watched any gameplay of it. I've just read a couple reviews. I read the synopsis they sent me from, telling me to check it out. There was an embargo on it because I got the code like 2.5, 3 weeks ago. So I actually got it before the game had released, and I think it released last Friday or something like that. So I look forward to checking that out. And yes, Dodge, I see in your comment now, I'm realizing that was a reference to Resident Evil 3. Shut your hole, Wang Chung. I don't want to hear any more from you. All right, and then Sundays, we got a couple more weeks of Lego Marvel, and then we'll be taking a vote, and then you guys will get to decide which game is next. So we talked about this Lego Lord of the Rings, Lego Movie, Lego Batman 3, Lego Hobbit, and Lego Jurassic will be the next 5 on the list. And the reason that those were chosen is because it's been the longest since we've played those. So, haha, it hit. Yes, it did. Nailed it right out the park. All right, so really, I got Patreon shouts and then questions. Oh yeah, by the way, Golfar, I've kept that button on there to kind of build motivation every month. The one that I am hoping to get looks a little different than this. The mouth on the bumper is a little bit bigger, less slats going across the front. The grill itself all lights up, and including the logo instead of just the bars that go across, because there's like a light that comes from the side of the headlight and then goes across, and then the logo, and this one doesn't light up. I'm not sure why they didn't light up the original 8s, but the 8.5s come with a light up. And then like badges are all blackened out. The brakes are not blue, they're black. I believe they have removed, I'll have to look into this. I believe they've removed that amber flare over the fender there for the front. I'm not sure. Something to do with safety? That's a weird place to put. I think you have to have a side marker in the US, like an orange amber marker. By manufacturing detail spec, like I think they have to come with that. People have already put like badge scans and stuff over them, so like people have put black, they put white, they color match, they've done all the different things. The different colors provide different results too, right? So like they have a blue, a black, and a white Golf R that you can get, and ultimately I hope to have one January, February, March-ish. I check every day to see if I can order them, but I'm not able to do it. Hey, by the way, did you hear that there was a 5-piece dropped in the chat? We got Bion, we got Noob Poop, we got Tony, we got Dragon Girl, and DP Murphy. All right, guys, welcome to membership. Hopefully you guys will enjoy your 28 days of glory, where you get to flex on people like, me. Show me how long you've been supporting by getting free donos from me. I mean, that's not everybody. There's a lot of people out there supporting on their own too that did not receive a donation, but I'm glad to see Tony got one too. A couple of regulars. I always like seeing anybody and everybody that's active get some love, but like seeing people that are here all the time always just hits a little bit extra. All right, last but not least, I've got Patreon shouts. Patreon.com/HappyThumbsGaming is still available. It's still a thing, believe it or not. I don't advertise it or talk about it too much, but we definitely have some pretty awesome supporters that have been out there, some for a long, long time. And I actually heard from April this month, too. In fact, I need to respond to her. She's not on this list here, but, she was definitely a Patreon supporter for a long time. And her and Bonnie, I sort of developed like this pen pal kind of relationship with after months and months of helping and correspondence back and forth. And so it became like a friendship. And so like that was really cool. And so I got to hear from April. I still haven't heard from Bonnie in a long time, but I also haven't reached out. So street goes both ways, right? So anyways, big time shout out to all those people at $5 and up. And then, of course, we got a handful of $10 and up supporters, too, that get the verbal shout outs. Starting off with the one and only Hurricane Dodger, Dougie Fresh 613. Dougie actually said that the hurricane was roughly a mile and a half to 2 miles away from his place, and a lot of stuff was pretty much decimated not too far out from where he is. He lives, his address is Marietta, as far as north, south, east, west, where and if where it is, I don't know, but it's my understanding that it was really close. But big time shout out to Doug for supporting us, and hopefully he's getting some more work done on that Funko Fusion guide too, because I know I'm about ready to start with the stuffs. Tomorrow I'll be finishing the thing. I have one more audio clip to cut for the thing, and then the thing video will go up, and then I'm going to start with Battlestar Galactica. So I'll probably get 2, maybe 3 levels done tomorrow. Psych, not tomorrow, Wednesday. I forgot tomorrow's Tuesday only. So yeah, I'll get the audio done for the thing for sure. But as far as starting Battlestar, because we're playing Hypercharge, I don't know how that'll work. I'll probably get 1 level done tomorrow night so that I can have some audio to cut for the morning the next day. Next on the $10 and up list, we got John Bondi. Thank you so much for your support, bro. Much love. I know you're really hoping that I get to some Lego Rock Band. I don't know, man. I mean, it's a good running request. I don't know, man. Like, if it magically shows up at my house one day, I may. But then again, there's also the copyright stuff too. But regardless, I find it funny. Keep bringing the funny and the punny, right? And so yeah. And then next up, we got Michael Karsberg. Boy, normally I drop a like secret word or phrase. I don't know. What donuts make me go nuts? How about that? All right. So thank you, Michael, for your support. Much love. And last but not least, we've got Bonnie Miller. Thank you so much, Bonnie, for your support on Patreon and more. I know you've been watching our videos for years, and the support has not gone unnoticed. So that's it for me, guys. As far as my list goes, I've got everything covered just under an hour, which was my perfected time. I know Cameron had some questions. Let's see if I can scroll back and find them. Have you watched the movie Inside Out 2? I have not. I've not even seen Inside Out. I used to watch a lot of those animated, like younger geared movies. I know they're not just for kids. They're sort of all ages, just like Shrek and things like that. I have not seen Inside Out or Inside Out 2. I've watched a show similar to that that's way more inappropriate, but on a similar level of like what they're doing with it. I watched Big Mouth. Big Mouth is more of like the hormone monsters and shame wizard and all these different sort of emotions that are related to and characters. And so like they go around and it's actually really funny. Nick Kroll and a bunch of people are in it, and it's on Netflix. Similar but totally different. Like one is like happy, positive, and one of them's like more real but also dirty and funny. So I haven't watched Inside Out, which sort of ruins the next question too, because the second question was, do you like my Joy Inside Out profile pic? I can, unfortunately, I can barely see it because it's really small. But I wouldn't have known because I'm just not familiar with Inside Out. But it is cool. Obviously, you're a fan of the show. Let's see here. What is your favorite? So yeah, I unfortunately don't have any responses to that, Cameron, because I have not seen the show. Definitely heard good things about it. I think Raised has seen it. But let's see here. Will you watch the Pharrell Williams movie? Oh, that's a great question. Yes, I have. I have a lot of intention of watching that. I don't think I'll make it to the theater to see it. I think it comes out like in the next week or two, doesn't it? There is a Lego set that has been designed and I believe released. It's like sort of like a space shuttle flying with like a rainbow of like smoke behind it. Looks pretty cool, actually. I might pick up one of those for the collection at some point. I don't know. But I definitely want to see it. I did read that tonight at 9 o'clock Pacific Standard Time, it'll be 12 o'clock East Coast, that the Wolverine, Deadpool and Wolverine movie is going to be up. So I already talked to the wife. If in fact we can get our hands on it right at 9, it will be early enough for her to stay up and watch it. So I'm excited. I haven't seen it yet, and it might not be till tomorrow that I get to watch it. But it's supposed to hit digital tonight/tomorrow. So I know that, like with Lego and a lot of servers, they base their refresh times off East Coast stuff. I don't know that we'll get lucky enough for that or not, but Bobby's out there, says great movie. Yeah, I've heard great things about it. Reese saw it twice, I think, and what he went and saw the new Transformers movie twice too. He said there's this one part that's absolutely hilarious. There's actually two parts that he keeps talking about. There's one where he basically like puts his hand up his fist and he like starts to transform his middle finger, right? Like and like he's like, oh, can't do that. And there's another and it has like the transforming sound to go with it. And there's another part that like he does something with his feet and he like runs out of the room really fast. And it actually, when I've seen the clip, it actually reminds me of a moment in Shoresy, which is the show I was just talking about on Hulu. There's a part where he's doing the refereeing and he does like this skate off. It is the most ridiculous but hilarious looking skate. Like he just like hard cuts one way, hits the brakes the other way, hard cuts back the other way, hits the brakes, and then skates off screen. I'll have to send it to my mods just so you guys can see what I'm talking about. It is hilarious. I'm pretty sure I dropped it on Nom the other day. I don't think Kirsten is even out there listening anymore, but maybe she's here. It is. She's going to get this and be like, what the crap is that? Why is Brian sending me this? But here, I sent it to Ray's too. That's Shoresy refereeing. So that's actually the Funko Pop that I got right here. That's this guy right here. Yeah, you can see he's got the funny number as his referee number. Anyways. Oh, Kirsten is listening. All right, perfect. I don't like the animation of Transformers. Yeah, I wasn't sure how I would like it either, knowing that like we've gone from animation to live action and then now back to animation. I wasn't sure. Reese said it's really good. And like the first night they went, him and Tennessee and a bunch of his friends were here. And I was asking him, I was like, so how was it? And they were like, dude, it's one of like the best movies I've seen in a long time. And I was like, really? Like, is this the only movie you've seen in a long time? Like, I need some more information here. And they go, no, it's really good. I've seen a lot of movies. I've seen Deadpool. I've seen a lot. There's all good movies. Don't get me wrong. But like, this was like truly like nostalgic and awesome. And I said, well, like, did you see the original one? And he goes, oh, from the 80s? Oh, yeah, which was long before their time. Oh, yeah, I saw that totally. It's up there with it. It's up there with it, they said. So I don't know. I'll see it when it hits digital in a few months. But yeah, so definitely worth checking out. Was playing game, but stopped because PSN servers went down. Really? PSN outage. Service status. Red. It's got red on you. What's Twitter saying? Is there a reason why? Is it a DDoS? Is it a DDoS? Has it gone? Is it trending yet? Do we know why? Oh no. Oh, now I want to know. Somebody that I don't think I even follow. Okay, I might follow. But somebody on Twitter that is always entertaining. I don't want to go into names, but like looks like a debacle happened online because there's like an apology and stuff. So trying to see if there's anything specific. Oh, it looks like you can get the Funko Pops at Amazon now. They're just now showing that. Although this is the Funko Europe account, so I don't know. Europe. Let's see, you're searching. I'm just curious to see if there's anything. Servers down, PlayStation Network. So it is. Everyone rushing to Twitter to see if PlayStation Network's down. PlayStation Network just went down. Don't have any online games. Lots of terrible memes to support this. Me running to Twitter to see if PlayStation servers down. What is going on? Memes. Wow. Yeah, it looks like so 30 minutes ago Doesn't there's no announcement or anything from them, but it's clearly a nationwide problem. Well, that's a big bummer. All right, Superman, what is up? Match 3 games and more. I just unlocked Bounty Hunter rockets. Nice, complete saga. Want to try them out, but don't know the controls for them. Bounty Hunter rocket. That's a red brick? It's been a long time since I played the complete saga. That's been a couple years anyway. Hey, Adam D's out there. What up, dude? Last minute late arrival. All right, birth month. All right, comes close. Just turned 34 this past Thursday. That's right. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. I wished you happy birthday on Facebook. I'm sure of it. Nationwide is on your side. Oh boy. All right. So last chance to ask questions. Whoa. Whoa. Bro. You're the worst. Bobby, you're the worst. I mean, that's kind of where we live these days, bro. It's just how it is. Yes, yes, yes. Let's see here. So maybe if I hang out a little bit longer, everyone will show up because they ain't got no games to play. Time to take a game break because the servers are down. So I think I mentioned this earlier. I got a couple Lego sets arriving later this week, probably Thursday, Friday-ish. Lego Fortnite Battle Bus, which is built. It's supposed to be pretty good size. And then I've got the Lego Llama, which is also pretty tall. It's almost as big as the Battle Bus. And then I also ordered the Durr Burger, so it's like a cheeseburger with a big tongue and stuff. It's pretty funny. I don't know if any of those sets will have any value as time goes on. I know that like Star Wars and some of the big franchises have done really well at like the 10 and 15 year mark of holding on to things. And I know that sounds like a really long time, but if you literally buy it, protect it, and set it on a shelf and forget about it, it actually goes by a lot faster than you think. We have a whole bunch of sets that are about to hit. I mean, it'll be 9 years this year, but like we have a bunch of 2015 like special holiday limited edition sets like, choo-choo trains and Christmas trees and all these different things that, from 2015, that's 10 years ago, 9 years ago, but I mean, we're getting there. And so, definitely, I don't know how we'll go about. We still haven't really sold many. I know, Josh, one of the viewers, he is, definitely been a purchaser of Lego in the past. Exchanged a bunch at local shops, but have not really sold like a big lot or anything. I saw there's a Scooby-Doo set that's coming up on like 9 years that we've had too. I saw a full set unopened selling for $1,000 asking price. And I think all 5 or 6 sets together cost like $250, $300. So it was like the Mystery Machine, there was the Haunted Mansion, there was the Haunted Lighthouse, there was the Pumpkin and the Sidecar Motorcycle one, and then the Tomb, the like Mummy's Tomb or whatever. Mummy's Tomb was like $10. The Sidecar one was like 15 or $20. I remember paying $30 for the Mystery Machine. The Mystery Machines are selling for like $150, $250, which is crazy. And then you get into the bigger sets like the Lighthouse and the Mansion. The Mansion itself was like 150, 175 brand new. So I mean, some of those sets are worth quite a bit if you hold on. And ours are all awesome, prestigious condition. We got those Marios too. We got a bunch of those Mario starter kits that, I mean, I don't know if they'll be worth anything. I got a bunch on clearance. So I think they were like $50 brand new, and I got a bunch of them for like $15 each or something like that. Target was just blowing them out, so I was like, I'll take all the ones you got, give them to me. And so I think I have 7 or 8 or 9 of those unopened. Then we got like Luigi's and Princess Peach and Yoshi, and all those sort of came out later. But those Mario sets are probably getting like 5, 6, 7 years now. Found old Batmobile. Nice. Awesome. That's dope. Hey, hello, Gene. Let's see here. I call Mr. Kerry DJ because he says face for radio. Yeah, yeah, that's accurate. That still hasn't changed. I say that to my wife and she'll fight me over it, but it is what it is. Hey, Funko Collector Phil, what is up? Would have taken hours to Scott Pilgrim and hey, see, I'm glad we could help out. You know, some of those story videos, like traditionally Lego videos, the story. I kind of leaked this information last week. A lot of the time, I understand the story is pretty self-explanatory. Very rarely do the story videos get a lot of traction, or they don't often help a lot. Like, a lot of people are used to just playing along with me now, and like after a couple of games playing the collectibles, they'll start with story and follow along and listen, and that's great. But I mean, historically, the free play, the collectible videos are always the ones that do the best. So the story is almost kind of like a time filler, like, hey, we're working on this, I'm producing this just in case you need some help getting through the levels, but really we're just buying time for the collectible guide writer to get their stuff done, and then me to jump on and do the collectibles. This time with Funko Fusion, I can't tell you how many times that I've literally got into a level and gone, what am I supposed to do? Or how do I beat this boss? Or like, you know, things that would normally be pretty easy. And sometimes it has to do with the order of how you play the game. So like playing from start to finish, like top to bottom of the list of how they have the worlds, that's how we chose to do it, just because it was defined and it was just easy, and there was no reason to do it any other way that we were aware of, at least at the time. Still not feeling like that's a bad idea. In fact, most people that have gotten through said, I wish I wouldn't have jumped and tried to get the cameo levels or the cameo quest because I needed all these things. And if I would have just completed the story and gotten all the stuff, I would have had everything I needed. So I feel like I'm still doing the right stuff. But there's like certain things like the Double Trouble level, for example, Scott Pilgrim, the second level where you have to fight, Lucas Lee. And, you know, I struggled quite a bit. And I said this in the video too, quite a bit with the shooting of the lights. So there's this process you have to repeat 3 times. You have to take out 3 special bad guys 3 different times. And each time you're doing this, there's endless waves of bad guys. Every time you kill one, another one spawns. So there's, I think, 3 or 4 out at every second. So you'll kill 1 or 2, and then you'll have like a 2-second break before the other 2 come and attack you, right? And so that's not a big deal. I can handle that pressure. But what was a struggle was there were these lights on a billboard that you had to shoot, and they had a timer on them. So like once you shot and connected with one, it was like 2, maybe 3 seconds before it would reset if you didn't hit the next one in line. So you had to go like 1, 2, 3, and then you won the first one, and then 1, 2, 3, 4 for the second one, right? And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and it's like the first one on the left and the first one on the right, and then the middle left and then the middle right. And so you're having to like aim back and forth, and that wasn't hard either. But when you're constantly being attacked by those baddies, and Lucas was driving around on a skateboard or in the van crashing into you, like you'd get 1 or 2 and then boom, you'd get hit. And then you'd fight the guys, and then you get 1 or 2 and 3, boom, you get hit again. So when I found that method of jumping up onto the light stand there, that's just like, there's like a microphone stand, or right next to it, there's like a light that shines down on that mic stand. You could jump up onto that and nobody can hurt you. You have all the time in the world to shoot those things, and it makes it so much easier. So there's like little tiny tips like that that may be first nature to a lot of people. Like, you know, you got professionals out there like Nom who would like walk into the room, and as soon as the level loads, they'd be like, oh yeah, jump on that, you know. No, I'm just being real here. Like, not everybody gets that stuff. And so after playing through it a few times, struggling to get through it, and then actually finding something that I find useful, I keep saying a lot in the videos, use the environment as your friend. You know, use doorways to block and funnel people through so they can only shoot you. You can dip off to the side and reload, or whatever. When they're attacking, you can hide from their attacks by using, a lot of it's just cover, right? I mean, tactics that I've picked up over years and years of being really bad at video games. So, you know, I feel like those story videos, there's probably You know, like the Scaremare one too, the final level, the boss battle between Scaremare and the other, like placing the portal down in that right corner, right by where the exchange tube is, where you got to take all the purple goo. Like you know, you might not think about that when everyone's attacking you and doing all this stuff. You might put it way over here and then not realize that you should have. Right? There's just little things that I feel like are super helpful. And you know, I hope that those collectible videos do amazing, and I hope the story provides a lot of help for everybody that's stuck. I actually, you know, I actually got an email yesterday, and it was titled Funko Fusion Frustration. And, you know, basically it went on to thank me and say, this game has been so much fun, but I feel like I shouldn't even be playing it at times because it's just so frustrating. And the balance has changed a lot. They've updated it 4, maybe 5 times now. And so they backed that off a little bit. And of course, you know, using some of the tactics like retreating while you're shooting. So backing up and pew, 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 sort of giving yourself as much space as possible, using the environment. There's some super easy, smart things that make that game so much better. You know, again, portal placement, you know, gas canister placement. There's a few things that really make all the difference in the world. So, hey, I appreciate you're watching those. Hopefully they're providing more help than I think they are. And I'm going to continue to upload those videos as the days go on. So please click that like button if you find them useful or entertaining. And hopefully the algorithm will start feeding them to other people. Whole Umbrella Academy, nice. Live comment was from 1010 Games. Yeah, no, 1010 came into one of our streams like what, a month before the game came out, and they dipped in and said hi. I actually, I may have gotten my foot inside a door that the next time a certain phone call happens, I may be getting one too. And I only say that because last week there was a meeting between 3 content creators that do Lego and Funko, people I'm familiar with, people that are familiar with me, and they got on a phone call. I've seen multiples in our streams, multiple comments on our videos from these guys over the years, and 3 of them got on a call with Arthur Parsons, who's the head at 1010 Games, and they talked about the future of it. They talked about DLC. They talked about updates and what it means to them, what the studio's doing. And, you know, the fact that only 80-ish people created this game in under 2 years with a minimal budget is amazing. And how they have all these plans and connections and, you know, finding and filling the void from Lego games and all this stuff. And so they're all 3 of these creators individually tweeted out, oh, I just had a call with Art. No, it was so good. And special thanks to so-and-so and so-and-so for being there. And so I went to one of them, tagged him on. I was like, where was my call? Ha, ha, ha. And Arthur Parsons liked it. So I know that he knows who I am. I've been totally, you know, enjoying his work for years, as he was a big part of TT Games. And, you know, all the way back to even before Lego, he's been working there. So huge part of my success, even though we haven't ever directly spoke. The things he's done and the things that I've done with the things he's done have allowed me to continue to be and do what I'm doing. Because let's be honest, this live stream right now, I mean, I know there's 20 or so of you in here, but I mean, there are 200,000 subscribers. I mean, this stream is not what's keeping the channel afloat. It's the Lego videos, and hopefully soon Funko. And, you know, we get a little bit of other stuff too. We got some Final Fantasy videos that Jeremy did, you know, 13 years ago that are still getting views here and there. I got a comment this morning on a Dying Light video that Dougie had done. And they were actually, it was funny because it was something about a voice crack. And I was like, my voice didn't crack. What are you talking about? So I went and watched it, and it was Doug, and his voice totally did crack. I was like, oh no. Just funny stuff. So it's not all Lego, but it's like 95% Lego, probably 4% streams. No, sorry, 4% other guides and 1% streams. There we go. I said it right. So yeah, anyways, it's awesome though. You had 1010 show up. They've been really active, and, you know, anybody who's showing love to them, they're showing love back. And I think that's a huge step in the right direction with all these studios closing and people hating on games. I mean, even IGN totally tore up Funko Fusion. And I mean, they probably had the PC version, which was not ready, right? Like it needed some help. It needed some updates. So, I mean, maybe some of the stuff they said, I didn't read it. Maybe some of the stuff they said was right. But at the end of the day, man, I just hate to see people tearing up something that's so close to being so good, knowing that they're gonna fix it, right? Like, yeah. But anyways, guys, we've been going for a while. I'm gonna go ahead and ask one last chime. Any last minute questions or anything? Ooh, ooh. I don't know much about it yet. I don't know if they've revealed anything other than the teaser trailer, but did you see the collaboration between DC Comics and Sonic the Hedgehog? They have like this teaser trailer where there's like some crime happening and like they click over to like a shadowy figure who pops out of the shadow and it's Batman, but it's Sonic as Batman. Check my text messages. Oh no. The crap is this? What is this? That's actually really cool, dude. Did you just pick this up? Like, that's actually a really cool collector's edition. I don't know if you guys have ever seen The Labyrinth with David Bowie and Jennifer Connelly. That listen, that was my first crush ever. Like Hollywood, like that was it. That was the movie. I remember being like young, young, 12, 11, 12, something like that when that movie came out. Well, it said 89, right? So yeah, I would have been 11 years old, probably 12 or 13 because it took so long back then to get to home video, and I didn't see it in the theater. I might have actually seen. Now that I think about it, I think my mom used to live right by a movie theater. We used to see movies all the time, and now that I think about it, I'll have to ask her. I feel like that was one of the movies I saw. I mean, that was 30 years ago, 34 years ago for me, 35 years ago for me. So like. But yeah, that's dope. I appreciate you sharing that with me because I will probably pick that up. I don't have a ton of collector's editions as far as like movies and box sets goes, but I do have the Clerks one that has all three Clerks movies and it has like the set, like the Clerks, Quick Stop and RST video and so like that's really awesome and near and dear to me. I also have the Lost one too. You probably remember I got the Lost one a long time ago. And that one has all sorts of Easter eggs and cool puzzle things, which like one of the coolest collector's editions maybe ever. So I'll have to check that out. I'll put it on my wish list for the family this year, and maybe somebody will pick it up for me because I like, that's one of my favorite movies. Bog of Eternal Stench. The door handles, knock knock, who's there? The riff and all that stuff. Like. It's been a long time since I've seen it too, but I mean, I love that movie. One of my most near and dear. And it's funny. Secret time. I still kind of have that crush on Jennifer Connelly. And last night, my wife and I were trying to decide what movies or show we were gonna watch as far as like moving forward. And like normally we try to like shop like shows that have 3, 4, 5, 6 seasons, something that we can binge out for like a week or two because we hate trying to find something that we both like. And she said, you know what? You pick whatever you want. And I went straight to this one called Dark Matter. You want to know why? Because it looked cool. But because Jennifer Connelly's in it. Snowpiercer is another one. That's that snow one with the train. There's another one I want to watch. Like I said, it's just she's been a top favorite of mine for a long time, and it's 100% because of the Labyrinth. That was it. Like and I mean, you look at her, she hasn't really changed. I mean, she has, but you look at her in the Labyrinth, and you look at her now, she hasn't really changed. Like it's kind of amazing. Uh-oh, check phone again. That's not good. Oh, the Dark Crystal. I saw you typing that. Oh, that's cool. It's got the actual crystal in there, the Skeksis. And I see what do they call the Skeksis, the big guys? No, the Land Riders, Land Striders. The Skeksis were the bad guys. It's been a long time since I've seen that too. I watched both of those movies when Reese was like, 10. He's gonna be 20 in like 3 months. So it's been about a decade since I've watched those two. I'm due, that's for sure. So I thought David Bowie was your best friend. The power of the babe. Ugh. I mean, you got to be honest. Like, that was a pretty awesome. He said, my baby, he was gone. I don't remember the words, but something like that. Um, Rolling around in them little tights, those little tights, bruh. That's a wonderful movie. Like, if you have not seen The Labyrinth, so good, so good. Sarah, the big old. I mean, the more I think about it, the more it's coming back. But like, it's such a good movie. In fact, we might have to watch if we don't get our hands on the Deadpool and Wolverine. I'm gonna suggest we watch that tonight, and I'll put my Dark Matter show on hold. It's on Apple TV. It's supposed to be really good. It's like timeline, like different. Like somehow dude ends up in an alternate timeline, and he has to like sort of work with / battle himself in this alternate. And it looks good. So, Raquel Welch, bruh, I wouldn't repeat that. You just aged yourself. I know you said you feel old, and it's probably true, but don't tell people that. Oh, brother, we're out there. It was good. We're in a tight spot. We're in a tight spot. That's so good. I love that movie, too. I haven't watched that one in a long time. I actually looked for it not long ago on streaming services, and I couldn't find it. I am a man of constant struggle. I don't know the words, but it's something like that. Right? Soggy Bottom Boys? Isn't that what they call themselves? The Soggy Bottom Boys? Is it sorrow, not struggle? All right. See, I was close. I know the tones anyways. It's been a minute. All right, guys, 6:30. Dinner's ready. I'm sure of it. Sure of it. And it's late, and I'm in a tight spot, so I'm going to go ahead and get out of here. But anyways, I want to thank each and every one of you for hanging out. Thanks to Michael for dropping the keyword later in a post, because I know he will. Adam, always good to see you. Hopefully you had a good birthday recently. I know we had a whole bunch of birthdays in September for HTG viewers, and that's awesome. Big month. Next month is Halloween month. And it sort of kicks off all of the holiday stuff. No matter what you celebrate, there's something coming in the next couple of months. Some of my favorite times of the year. And I got to be honest, I'm a little bit worried. And I don't say that like jokingly. Like, this is going to be my first Christmas without my grandma's. And like, you know, if you've heard the story before, like every Christmas Eve, my entire life, I've spent at my grandma, who just passed away 2 weeks ago. It's going to be different. Like the last 2 years, we didn't do it at her place, but we did it with her and it was just a new. So it'll be something similar to that, but like, you know, she ain't going to be there, and it's going to be different. And you know, same with Grandma Helen. So, anyways, yeah, lots of good times coming though. Got baby Luke. Gushy dad. So, anyways, all right, guys, let's wrap it up. High fives, hugs, dabs, all the above. By the way, I did get to watch all the Blazers media interviews today. I'm excited, even though the season's going to be rough on the win-loss column. I'm still really excited. Basketball is right around the corner. The WNBA finals are happening right now. I've never been so into the WNBA as I am now. It's great. Wife and I are like, we actually know a ton of the players now and what they're known for. And like, it's really great. Like, I'm so stoked that the evolution of the game is happening finally for the women's side. And I can't wait to see who wins this year. And I can't wait to see the Blazers suit up and play, which, by the way, Nam, 10-72, get out of here. We're at least winning 20, bruh. We're at least winning 20. FanFest on the 8th. You should snag a ticket on Ticketmaster. They're free. You probably won't go with me, but just get one, just in case. You know, I'm going to get Greg and Tiffany, Corey and Nicole, Jillian and Reese. I'm trying to get Reese has been like sort of hanging out with a girl. Sort of. She has a boyfriend, but they've been kind of hanging out a little bit. And so I've tried to get him to bring her, but I don't think that's going to happen. So anyways, we'll see how it goes. It'd be good to see you there. But hey, thanks to everybody for hanging out. Phantom, Brian D, Funko, Phil, Bobby, all you, John Bondi, everybody that's out there hanging, Raised, Kirsten, you know who you are. You guys all make this channel go round, and I appreciate you more than you know. If you guys have not already, please check out happythumbsgaming.com. We also got merch. Make a perch. Sport that Thumby shirt. Get a Thumby hat, some stickers. Put it on your coffee cup. Let everybody know you're a Happy Thumb gamer. Anyways, guys, that's going to go ahead and do it for me. As always, until next time.